Hi everyone, this is Justin with Voices for Voices. Uh, Gonna jump into some deep topics here tonight. Uh, we as individuals, uh, we know life's hard. We know we shouldn't take anything anything for granted. Any days, any times, any moments. Uh, but where I'm at right now is in a hard spot, and it's a hard spot for a lot of reasons. Uh, some we'll get into, some we might not, and it makes me at this point really question everything. I mean, everything we're doing here at Voices for Voices, uh, as an individual who put out this humongous goal of wanting to help 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And that goal is still out there. That nothing will change there on that. But when we look to different things, different people, as far as we've talked about extensively, how are we doing? What I might look at might be different than what you look at, from an analytic standpoint. And so that's where this episode really comes in, because it really just has me just questioning everything, from the organization to me personally. We talk about the organization and how big that goal is. And we know we can't do it overnight. We can't do it alone. However, and I don't know. I'm kind of, I guess, at a loss for words to kind of talk about, at what point do we as individuals, let's say, give up, from the organization? Why? And it's going to take a lot more for me to give up on the organization than where I'm at in this space right now. And so let me just bring out some things. So the things are, you watch me, you listen to me, whether we're remote, whether we're at the studio, whether you're watching on video or you're listening on podcast, or you're watching on TV when we have our weekly slot to be able to air an episode each week, which is really it's a huge blessing to be able to do that, to get our feelings, our content, our thoughts, our message in front of a different audience than other shows, other organizations. And so that really brings me to the point where, again, you're watching, you're listening, into the to a mind that doesn't do this 100%, for their, living. I'm in this 100%. So we are a nonprofit, but we are run like a business. And so everything you've seen and heard up until now, that's coming out of my pocket. And that's just the long and the short of it. And so that's one metric of donations and sponsorships and the like. We can look at things from that standpoint only and be like, well, not going well, not doing good. Yeah, maybe you should try something else. What you're doing doesn't matter. Only 3 people or 4 people watch or listen to the show. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to be confronted in that manner. And so again, this show, it looks like, hey, well, Voices for Voices, Justin, he's filming this and he uploads it, and it happens just like that. That it's this magical process, and it's not. And some people want to learn a little bit about it, and some people don't. And it's the people that don't that, when they criticize, verbally abuse, right? In the news we hear all kind of different types of abuse. We hear, physical abuse, and now we're talking about, verbal abuse. So like, what you're doing doesn't matter, and you're just doing, you just like seeing yourself in front of a camera or on TV or on a podcast. And then when the explanation starts to come of, well, okay, yeah, we do have to upload these files, the audio, the video files. We do upload them. But that's not where things start, or I guess where things end. So it's not you uploaded it, okay, you're done. Move on to the next project, the next topic. We're on, as you know by now, and over 16, 17 platforms. So what is a platform? A platform is a YouTube, a Rumble, an Apple Podcast, a Spotify, Podcast Index, and then the list of Podbean, Odyssey, iHeart, the list goes on. So that file, the show, each specific show doesn't get to them, by magic. It takes some other editing to get to that point. So when we get to that point, that just means that the show's ready, that doesn't have a title picked out, doesn't have a description picked out, doesn't have hashtags picked out, doesn't have keywords picked out, doesn't have different links. So do we want people to know that we have merchandise, or if they or you are able to donate? So there's links that go into that, and whether it is an audio and a video file, it's two different things. Meaning, you can put the link in www.voicesforvoices.org, and that could show up on one particular platform, and somebody can go and click that, and it takes them right to voicesforvoices.org. Others, you can go in and make it a hyperlink. And so you take the same voicesforvoices.org and you make that a hyperlink, and you go in and put the voicesforvoices.org so that on that platform, that individuals can go and find the information that we are sending them to, just to let them know, hey, if you didn't know, we do a merchandise, and we are a 501c3. We do run on donations, and they're basically non-existent. I mean, to be frank. So, the thought that I have heard, and our team has heard, is, look at all the things that Voices for Voices are doing. Look at all the shows that they're doing. They just have unlimited money. Okay, we don't. And then, by the way, all those 16 and 17 platforms, to find a description. So I can just make up a description and say ABC episode 187 or whatever number we're on. But the rank, and what do we mean by rank? That means to be given a score between 0 and 100 of how likely a person, an individual, is likely to want to potentially click on your either video or the podcast. So again, we're talking about the same thing. The shows, you're getting the same content, whether we're talking audio or video. But on the back end, it doesn't work like that. It's different. And so when we talk about ranking, so again, I can make up a description of, ABC episode 186 or whatever number in this hypothetical. Well, that could rank, meaning between 0 and 100. That description, that title, may come back at a 45 out of 100, meaning on average, less than 1 out of 2 individuals are going to potentially click and want to watch our show, that particular episode, or listen to that particular episode. Well, that costs money because I don't know how to do those things in my head, and I don't know many people that do. So there's software that does that, but you have to have something uploaded. So I have to come up with a description. I have to come up with a title, with keywords, with hashtags. I have to come up with all those things ahead of time and then run it through a software package that costs money, $300 a year, to get these scores, to find out where we're ranking and how we can get closer to 100. Because that's the goal. We want to reach. We want to help 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And one of the better ways to go at that is to have more people consume our content, and having a higher score closer to 100 gets us closer in each and every episode, each and every TikTok, each, so not only the show, but when we do, short videos, TikToks, same thing. We run that through the same software package to try to get not to try, but we do get the score out of that. And so we try to get those titles and descriptions as close to 100 as we can. Then we have what is the cover. So what you see as the cover. So the title are words, or letters. The description, letters. Could be links, mostly letters. We talked about the links earlier in the show. So what about the cover? So what, that photo that you or I see, so we could have a great description, a great title, but if what they call a thumbnail, so a snapshot of our shows, so we pull a snapshot at a given moment during our show, so that gets uploaded. Again, another process, audio, video, and we haven't even talked about posting on social media yet. So this is all prior to that. And so again, title could be great, description could be great, but the thumbnail, the photo, the picture at that given point in time that shows up for each of our episodes, if that is ranking lower on that score from 0 to 100, because those thumbnails also get rated on a scale from 0 to 100. And so all these things are going on, and we have to do one thing at a time. So we hit regenerate, and then 3 different titles, and then descriptions. AI is used with the package, the software package. But again, it takes time, and again, the magic is not there. We don't pull a rabbit out of a hat. That's not how this works. So again, we talk about title, description, thumbnail, and then we talked about, what hashtags align well with each episode. Well, again, these have to be thought of, right? Because each of our episodes are a little bit different on the content of the guests, what we're sharing. And so that's another thing that needs to be addressed. And so with these software packages, we have another software package that allows us to get what this particular system thinks is the best hashtags for this particular episode, basically it's going off of the description and the title. Well, all that is all well and good, but again, we want to have hashtags and keywords that rank closer to 100. And so these can be individually. So we could have 20 hashtags, and 15 of them might have a score below 50. So we're like, well, let's try for better recommendations. And so the software package does the same thing. So it regenerates based off of the title, the description, the thumbnail, and hashtags that are ranked 0 to 100. So we want to also have our hashtags rank closer to 100. Same thing with our keywords. We want those to rank closer to as close to 100 as we can get. And so I'm sure this is coming across a little bit confusing and like, well, he's talking about technical things. Well, that's the idea. There are technical things that I have to do, that our organization has to do to bring the show, the content. So all episodes have to go through this process, regardless if it's an in studio, out of studio process. We have to select title, description, if we're going to add any links in there, and then the keywords and then the hashtags, the thumbnail, the photo that comes up for each episode. We want to draw your attention, others' attention to our content, right? Because we all have a lot of things going on in our lives, and we know that, and I know that. So we have to be cognizant of all of that that's going on. So where's this all lead? So this basically takes us to the point of how are we doing? You're not doing very good. You're not doing good because of this number or that number, or how low this number is or how high this number is. And we're constantly being judged, and I can't change it. Nobody can change it. I can't change other people. It's very, very, very difficult when others, whether it's somebody, a troll on one of our social media pages, or whether it's family, people that are the closest to us, who are sharing their displeasure with what's not happening. And that's on the periphery. So many people. And until I got into this business, I didn't realize all the quirks and all the editing and the little things to worry about and to think about. Again, I came in looking at, well, we're going to put a podcast and a TV show together, and once it's done, we're just going to upload it, and then we're going to be done until the next one. Not even considering or thinking about the back work that has to go on. And so some may wonder, well, why don't you just hire somebody? Why don't you just find an intern to do this? That sounds great now, doesn't it? However, as mentioned before, very close to 100% of this organization is run by Justin Allen Hayes dollars that are in bank accounts. And there's not much left. So, no, I can't, our organization can't hire an individual or a team to do that work. Because, yeah, that would actually make things a little bit easier, because the time as a leader that I would spend and our other team, our other board members would spend, would be more time on the creative aspects than hitting the refresh button, seeing where this hashtag ranks 0 to 100, and refreshing and copying and then pasting it. Some things you can copy and paste, some things you can't. The audio versus the visual, it's just a different animal with the back end. So I have simplified it as much as humanly possible, from filming episodes, regardless of where they're filmed at, to getting the content to you in as few steps and as less stress, less heartache, less burnout as I can. There are, just like anything, there are things that we wish we didn't have to do. I wish I didn't have to spend that time editing and all that time on the computer. So to the outside, so an individual or other individuals who see me, they're like, man, you're spending a ton of time, on your computer and on your phone. And well, in order for a business, a nonprofit, to compete with other businesses that are nonprofits, to compete for dollars, I don't know what else to do except bring content, bring different topics. Some topics may be similar, but they're updated based off of experiences and where I'm at in life, and at a given time. Do you think that I enjoy sitting on the computer doing all this editing? No, I don't. But I don't know any other way really to do it. We don't have the funds to have a staff or even one member to pay to do this, because I know for a fact, and I've been at organizations where individuals were doing a tenth of what I'm doing and what we're doing, from the digital side, the back end, content creation, descriptions, everything. There are people making a lot of money, close to six figures, if not more than six figures. So I simply, in Voices for Voices, we simply don't have the funds to be able to do that, to offload that. So if things are going to get done, I have to do it. That's just the way it is. And then there's the website. Well, who's going to update the website? I know it's shoddy and it's a hot mess when looked at. Again, where am I going to pull that time from? What am I not going to focus on? What am I not going to do? Because again, each of these individual pieces in and of themselves are not hard and don't take a long time individually. But when you stack and you stack and you stack, that's when it begins to be a little bit just chaotic. So we're gonna come back with another episode to continue this conversation. I have just so much to say on the topic. So we'll come back, and we thank you for watching and listening. We're very grateful. Moral support, any support. We'll figure our way through. So until next time, we'll see you later.